Hello you guys! In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can paint leaves using just one brush stroke. Then we're going to paint this pretty wreath I've created using the one stroke technique that I've shown you. So why don't you grab your supplies and come and paint along with me. The paint I'm using in this tutorial is gouache, but you can also use watercolors. If you're not quite sure what gouache is or how to use it and you're a little bit curious, then make sure you go and enroll in my free course, Get Started with Gouache. I'll leave the link below this video. I'll be using a round paintbrush in this tutorial. You'll need a nice smooth brush that can hold a good amount of paint, and you want the brush to come to a nice point. The size of the brush you use is up to you. Obviously the larger the brush, the larger your leaves will be. You'll also need some watercolor paper, some sort of palette or surface to mix your paint on, and a watercolor cup or jar, and some paper towels or tissue. So let's get started with these leaves. The idea of creating leaves with just one brush stroke means that you'll be painting quickly and the leaves can be a little imperfect, sometimes even a bit loose or messy. I really enjoy painting this way because I like how the one stroke kind of captures the movement and aliveness of the leaves as we see them in nature. The key to using just one stroke to paint a leaf is the amount of pressure you apply with the paintbrush. So you can see here how using the same paintbrush I can make both a very thin line or a thicker line just by varying the pressure I'm using. So if you use more pressure as you pull the paintbrush, the bristles spread wider and the stroke becomes thicker. If you use less pressure, the stroke will be thinner. Painting leaves is a great way to learn to control the pressure because they start off thin and they're wider in the middle and then they taper off into a thin point again. So just practice starting the leaf off with just a tiny bit of pressure and press down heavily to create the leaf-like shape using the entire side of the brush, then release the pressure as the leaf tapers off into that tip. So you'll just be using the very tip of the paintbrush as you lift it off the paper. I always find that the lift and release movement at the end is the trickiest, and it takes a lot of practice to know when to lift the brush off of the paper to make a nice clean leaf tip. If you don't quite get it right though, then you can just go back in while the paint is still wet and touch it up. Now I'm going to show you how to paint an easy wreath using the one stroke leaves. So you'll need to create a rough circle outline on your page. You can just draw it loosely, or you can grab a plate or dish to trace around. I'm going to break my leaves up with some simple little circular flower shapes because they'll add a nice pop of colour to the page. So I'm just taking some of my gouache and mixing in a little water, and then painting some rough circles in little clusters around the larger outline that I made. So while those little flowers dry, I can start painting in the leaves. If you're right-handed like I am, it's always a good idea to work from left to right so that you're not dragging the heel of your hand through any wet paint as you work. So I'm going to start over on the far left of my wreath, and I'll just be working my way around the wreath in a clockwise direction. You can see how I'm just repeating the same one stroke movement over and over again. Just loosely, starting with the tip of the brush, then pressing down heavily using the side of the brush. Then I'm carefully lifting and releasing the brush off of the page. While the leaves are still wet, I'm just going to join them up with a little bit of a stem coming out from the flowers. So just keep working around the circular outline you made until you're back at the beginning. Once you've finished adding in the leaves and they're completely dry, you can go in and add as much detail as you want to. So if you're loving the loose, fluid watercolor style, then you can leave your wreath just as it is. Or you might want to go in and maybe add some veins to the leaves or a little detail in the center of the flowers. Just have a play around with it and see what you like best. So there I have my completed one stroke leaf wreath. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know in the comments below, and make sure you tell me what you'd like to learn to paint so I can put it together in another tutorial. Remember, if you're new to gouache, the link to enroll in my free e-course is below this video.